Now is the time to go shopping and stock up because things are about to become really crazy. This is your bright brainy dose for the day. Hello, my name is Loreto. If your pantry is becoming increasingly empty and there are things you need to stock up on, you should probably rush to the stores right now and do it right away. Grocery shortages and bare shelves are back with a vengeance, and farmers, industry executives, and even government agencies are warning us that they're only going to get worse in the weeks and months ahead. Grocery prices are expected to skyrocket this summer, leaving us consumers scrambling with widespread shortages for the second consecutive year. We have a lot to discuss in today's video, but before we do, please support us by leaving a thumbs up and subscribing to our channel to stay up to date on the most important news. If you've been to a grocery shop recently, you've certainly seen bare shelves. Over the last year, US households have encountered localized shortages of particular items and brands, while simultaneously dealing with increasing grocery expenditures and drastically increased living expenses. The relentless rise in gas and diesel prices is also having a major impact on US farmers who are losing motivation to plant anything and to take care of their crops due to a massive increase in commodity prices, a massive increase in raw materials, and a massive increase in fertilizers. According to Iowa farmer Ben Reach, the challenges he and his fellow agricultural producers face on a similar note. John Boyd Jr., president of the National Black Farmers Association, noted that these drastic price increases are absolutely crushing small farmers and warned that this has pushed the American food supply chain to a devastating crisis that will be reflected on grocery store shelves and wallets by the summer. Boyd Jr. emphasized that millions of small agricultural producers, who account for nearly 40% of the country's food production, are abandoning their crops simply because they cannot afford to pay higher fuel or fertilizer prices. We're going to see a lot of empty shelves and a lot higher prices, he says. He also stated that the brothers who operate Donaldson Farms in New Jersey warned last week that those who pay higher costs will likely pass them on to their consumers or face bankruptcy. According to Greg Gary and David Donaldson, American farmers have already been financially burdened by rising labor costs and energy prices, and the new price increases came on top of a series of other price increases that have been making farming an unprofitable business. The latest spike in diesel prices is particularly concerning given that fuel is the lifeblood of the American farmer. Bird flu outbreaks are driving up egg and chicken meat costs much quicker than usual, with eggs predicted to cost 20% more this year and poultry 9% more than their 2021 averages. USDA analysts boosted their projections of food inflation for the fourth month in a row, reaching the highest pace since 1980. According to the Agricultural Department, an ongoing outbreak of highly pathogenic avian influenza has reduced the U.S. egg layer flock, resulting in a 10.3% increase in retail egg prices in April, according to an economist writing in the USDA's monthly food price outlook. Retail poultry prices have been high due to historically low stocks of frozen chicken, also known as cold storage. The continuing highly pathogenic avian influenza outbreak, which has impacted over 38 million chickens, has also contributed to rising poultry costs. The government estimates that food and grocery inflation will jump another 7 to 7.5%, totaling the largest yearly increase since the last year of the Carter period. Needless to say, another wave of supermarket price spikes would completely devastate Americans. A Morning Consult study found that 71% of US households are already struggling to keep up with rising grocery prices. 41% said they will modify their shopping patterns if prices rise, and 51% said they are already observing bare shelves at their local stores. The significant level of supply pressure on categories that represent such a substantial percentage of spending helps to explain why people are concerned about the growing cost of living. The Morning Consult identified March 2022 as having both the most severe impact from shortages and the biggest jump since September 2021 in its report. So if you know you're going to need something in the months ahead, we advise you to buy it now because with the way things are going, there is a very high chance that you will be paying a whole lot more if you wait. A very informative op-ed published on the nation's commerce website Leto Lenight shed light on the several factors leading to this concerning predicament. She claims that most Americans have little understanding of where most of our food actually comes from, which makes it more difficult to connect the dots between extreme heat, drought, the insect apocalypse, and our food system. However, without dramatic action to limit both warming and corporate power over our food supply, food shortages and famines are imminent. To put it simply, the plants we eat and the animals that eat plants require water, a predictable climate, and beneficial insects. Heat and drought are already reducing yields of American soy, corn, and wheat crops. She explains that, in her opinion, the formula crisis that millions of parents are currently experiencing is a foreshadowing of what is to come for the entire country. The corporate consolidation that caused the formula shortage is also a feature of our agricultural system and already raises food prices. And with an increasingly oligarchic government, the prospect of frequent food and water shortages becomes even more dire. Even South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem is raising concerns about corporate control of our food supplies. She stressed that in order to keep our food supply consistent and affordable for all families, it is critical that no one else controls it. However, for years now, foreign corporations have been investing in our food supply chain, buying up the chemical and fertilizer companies that make American agriculture possible, purchasing processing facilities, and introducing vultures. Americans have a right to expect their politicians to be concerned about disruptions in our food supply. Noem emphasized that America is much closer to widespread food shortages than we think. Food security is our next crisis, and it may already be here, she warns. Unfortunately, this is just the beginning, as the federal government will continue to support big corporations while allowing millions of US farmers to lose crops and face bankruptcy. Things are getting crazier and crazier in our domestic supply chains and in the inflationary nightmare we have been in for a long time.